Welcome back to Go for Two Sports. I am your host, Aaron Shed. I know it has been a long time since I've been active on this channel, but forgive me. I'm back and I'm here to give you guys the NFL content that you need to stay up to date and all the happenings around the league. With that being said, let's jump into this. Today I'm going to be grading free agency, how every team did, giving them a grade based on their acquisition, their trades, stuff like that, based on how I feel about the team heading into the 2026 NFL Draft. Starting up first, we're going to go with the Arizona Cardinals. I give them a C. They didn't do anything. You have some signings here, but nothing spectacular. Their quarterbacks are Gardner Minshew and Jacoby Brissett. What are you expecting from those guys? It's clear what the goal for Arizona is. They're trying to tank, and they're trying to get to the quarterback class that's coming next year, which a bunch of people were saying it's going to be a great class. I agree. It's going to be a tremendous class, and hopefully they're going to be able to get their franchise guy there. But it's clear what's happening this year. They're tanking. Nothing much going on in free agency. They're going to get a C from me. Moving on, we got the Atlanta Falcons. I don't mind the Atlanta Falcons signing. They didn't do much, but Tua, it's a flyer. It's a chance. The guy has shown that he can throw the ball, and he's done it successfully throughout his career at Bama and then for a couple of years at Miami. His only problem is staying on the field. He's not great in cold climates either, and he had his issues, but he's not really a leader. But you're paying him 1.2 mil. 1.2 mil you're paying this guy to come in, and he's definitely going to start some games for them. Michael Penix is coming off a torn ACL. I don't think he's going to be ready to start the year. And even if he is, give me Tua. I think Tua's a better quarterback than Penix all day. Overall, I'm going to give the Atlanta Falcons a C. They didn't do much, but I think the Tua gives them, maybe a chance. You never know. Moving on, the Baltimore Ravens. I think that they had I think they got better. They let a lot of guys go, but I think they got better. They went to go get a premier edge rusher, Max Crosby, with 2 firsts, and then decided, wait, we can just sign Trey Hendrickson for a cheaper deal than Carolina gave Jalen Phillips. So, of course, that's what they're going to do. Some could say, it's maybe some shady business by Eric DeCosta, but I think that it's business at the end of the day. He didn't do anything illegal or wrong, as we know of. At least that hasn't come out yet. So I think that they were just good at maneuvering and able to come away with a premier edge rusher. And honestly, it kind of cheap. Not like cheap, but better than Jalen Phillips got from the Carolina Panthers, which is going to be the team we're talking about next. Nope, 2 from now. Sorry. So overall, I give the Baltimore Ravens offseason to this point an A. They lost some guys, but they also got Trey Hendrickson. They got a lot better. So moving on, Buffalo Bills. Of course, they traded for DJ Moore, but other than that, the only thing they've really done is bring in Bradley Chubb, and this is kind of an overpay. It's a dude that, he had a lot of promise when he signed that big deal in Miami, but he hasn't done anything with it. He hasn't produced. I mean, he's been injured, but also that's no excuse. But this is a pretty big contract with the Bills. It's not horrible, 14.5 a year, but it's not bad. But I do think it is a bit of an overpay, but they did bring in DJ Moore, and I did like that move a lot, not only for DJ Moore, but for the Bills and Josh Allen as a whole. They desperately needed a reliable receiver. Khalil Shakir and freaking... what was that? See, I'm blanking. I can't even think of the other... Keon Coleman. I can't even think of the other guys on that team right now, because that's how bad they were lacking at receiver. They did bring in DJ Moore, so I like that move. Upgrade for him, upgrade for the Bills. Overall, I think so far they get a B+. Kyle Allen, Panthers legend. bring in to be a backup quarterback for Josh Allen. The Allens are going to be running the show at quarterback this year for the Bills, which is obviously nothing new, but just thought that was interesting. Yeah, I'm going to give them a B, B+. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Say that 3 times fast. I like that signing. Cheap 3.5-year safety. He's a good guy. Or not a good guy. A good player. He's shown that he's actually not a good guy. He's a locker room problem everywhere he's gone. You never know. Hopefully they can get some good play out of him. But yeah, B+ for the Bills overall. Moving on to the Panthers. My Panthers. God, I love this team. I think we had the best free agency. I think us and the Raiders are right there for the best free agency week this year. Jalen Phillips was a massive overpay, in my opinion. Horrible overpay. Only $80 million guaranteed, though. So it seems like we're able to get out. We're going to learn more about that contract as the new league year fully sets in. Devin Lloyd, I think this is the best signing from the free agency period so far. Devin Lloyd at $14 million a year when the Raiders paid Nakobe Dean like what 13.5, I think. It's maybe more than that. Like, Devin Lloyd is a much better player than Nakobe Dean. So the fact that we were able to snag him from the Jags on a 3-year deal, that's awesome. That completely changes the middle of our defense. I think last year one of our biggest problems was the linebacker core. I mean, we had Christian Roseboom, and then Tevin Wallace went down with an injury, but that's not going to get it done. Devin Lloyd, he's going to get it done. One of my favorite signings, probably my favorite signing in all the free agency this year. Rasheed Walker, up there as well. A 1-year, $4 million contract? Are you kidding me? This dude was a good starter for the Green Bay Packers. He was good. And so him to come in and fill the void at Ike Ekwonu is not going to be there for probably most of the year. So Rasheed Walker going to be a stopgap left tackle here. Like, that's a tremendous move. I'm giving the Panthers an A+. An absolute A+. They're bringing Isaiah Simmons back. He's a dog out of Clemson. A dog. I mean, he's had his troubles in the league, but he's a safety. Like, he made the big play in the playoff game. I was there, by the way. Blocked a punt. Like, you know, a good guy to bring back. John Mechie, bringing him from the Jets. You know, he was teammates with Bryce Young in college. Like, I like the moves that were made by the Panthers. I think this has been the best free agency period that they have had I don't know. Last year was really good too. We've been cooking recently. I'm gonna give them an A+. A+, amazing free agency period. Actually, I gotta bring that down. I think I gotta go with just an A, because I do think that Jalen Phillips is a bit of an overpay. The Jalen Phillips contract is a little out of where I would be comfortable with, like out of the range that I would be comfortable with. But so I'm gonna bring it down to an A. Moving on, the Chicago Bears obviously got rid of DJ Moore that I was just talking about with the Buffalo Bills. But other than that, like, they didn't do much. Kobe Bryant on a 3-year, $40 million. You know, he's cool. Braxton, they were able to bring back Braxton Jones. That was good. Like, I don't have much else to say about the Bears. They haven't really done much, so I'm gonna give them a B, I guess. Just an average. They didn't get much. In fact, they got worse. I'd say they got worse trading away DJ Moore. He was one of Caleb Williams' most reliable receivers. So they definitely got worse, but we'll see what they do in the draft to get better. Right now they have a B grade from me in free agency. Moving on to the Cincinnati Bengals, and you can see what they had in mind. What we all had in mind for the Cincinnati Bengals. Defense. That's all they need is defense. But I don't like the approach. I'm going to give them a C+ here because Boye Mafe, $20 million a year? Are you kidding me? That's an overpay. It's an overpay in my opinion. Brian Cook, $14 a year? Like, that's an overpay. That's an overpay in my opinion. And Jonathan Allen, the dude's like 32. This isn't 2019 anymore. Like the guy's not, he's not great anymore, and you're giving him 12 and a half a year over 2 years. Is he even going to be playing after this next season? Overall, I don't like the Bengals offseason to this point. I haven't been a fan. I haven't at all. I think that organization is ran poorly, and I think that this free agency period reflects that. They're going to get a C. C for me for the Cincinnati Bengals. Moving on to the Cleveland Browns. Didn't do much. Bring in some offensive linemen. Quincy Williams, little edge rusher, off-ball linebacker kind of guy. Nothing of importance. The overpay for Zion Johnson was crazy because he was not good for the Los Angeles Chargers last year. I think he had one of the worst PFF grades on that entire offensive line. An offensive line that struggled. So for Zion Johnson to get that much is a little crazy to me, but they did need offensive linemen. Elton Jenkins, I like the signing. I don't like that he's going to be playing center, to be honest. I think he's better as a guard. I think he's much better as a guard. 12 a year, 2 years, it's whatever. The Cleveland Browns are going to get a B. I don't know. I'm going to go a B minus, actually, just because I don't like that Zion Johnson contract. I don't like it at all. I think it's an overpay, and I think they could have got better elsewhere. The Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys haven't done much in free agency. Jalen Thompson was their biggest signing, and he's a nothing burger, $11 million a year safety. I don't want to discredit Jalen Thompson or really any of these players, right? They're all tremendous talents, right? But at the end of the day, there's some moves that aren't just going to move the needle for me. And the Cowboys, that's what they've done this offseason. Nothing moves the needle. They bring in Rashawn Gary for a fourth from the Packers. And that's cool. Pair him back up with Kenny Clark. Their defensive line is suddenly like not horrible anymore. But that entire front seven needs work. The defensive back room needs work. Really everything needs work in Dallas, and I don't think their free agency period moves the needle for me. I'm just going to give them a B- as well. They didn't do anything, and I'm not a fan. Like the other guy from Green Bay, I was just talking about him. I don't think he was going to, trading a fourth for him was unnecessary. He was about to get released. They weren't keeping him anyways. So, trading a fourth for him just seems like bad process, in my opinion. And I feel like that resources could have been used elsewhere. So overall, the Dallas Cowboys are going to get a B- for me. Nothing great, but they still have the core of that team together, that offense. So they are going to be moving into next year with that. Denver Broncos also did just nothing. Nothing. They brought back their guys, and then they made the big splash trade for Jalen Waddle. But what else? That's it. But here's the thing about the Denver Broncos that sets them apart. I think that they're a Super Bowl team if Bo Nix didn't get hurt. So when I ask what else, I'm going to be honest, there's not much else that they need. They have holes, yes, but trading for Jalen Waddle I'm scared for what the Denver Broncos are going to do to the league this year. I think that they are going to be the team coming out of the AFC and representing the AFC in the Super Bowl. I think that Bo Nix is that guy, and I think that with this receiving core that they're gonna have a great year. I think that they still stand to get better. Of course, every team can get better, and I think that they definitely did, but they haven't done much else. So for that, I'm gonna have to give them a B. I'm gonna bump it up to a B plus. Nah, just a B, just a B. They didn't do anything else besides bringing their guys back and the trade with Jalen Waddle, and that's not enough to get higher than a B for me. It's just a B, just a B for the Denver Broncos. Moving on, the Detroit Lions also didn't do crazy. The Cade Mays, I liked him. He was a center from Carolina. He's one of my guys. Him and Bryce had real chemistry. I really liked him, but sad to see him go. But little overpay, a little bit over $8 million a year for Cade Mays. whatever. That does help them out on the offensive line. A big hole for them was interior offensive line. So they brought in Isaiah Pacheco from the Chiefs to be the second back, the David Montgomery replacement, if you will, and Roger McCreary from the Rams. They re-signed Rock Ya-Sin, sorry. And there's nothing else on here that's like needle moving at all. I know I'm giving the B out a lot, but like I just feel like good teams stayed good. Like I don't think the Detroit Lions got worse. I don't think they got a crazy amount better. I mean, they filled some holes, but like trading Demo with Isaiah Pacheco's whatever. Cade Mays is just, it's not going to move the needle much for me. And I think that that's going to be a theme of this video a lot with a lot of these teams. So I'm going to give the Lions a B and move on to the Green Bay Packers, who also did nothing. I don't like the Javon Hargrave deal. I think that he was a bust in the first round, and he hasn't been great anywhere he's been. They lost their starting left tackle, Rashad Walker. He went to the Panthers, like I was talking about earlier, on that tremendously cheap deal. Why not bring your guy back to go with your quarterback, Jordan Love? Like, he had a good year. Bring him back. Pay the man. I don't understand that. Bad process from the Packers. For that reason, I'm actually going to give them a C-. I'm going a D. I think the Packers got tremendously worse. And I know I have one specific Packer fan watching this video, and I apologize, but it's a D. They got worse. They got worse. We'll see what they do in the draft to re-gear this team for the next season. Moving on, the Houston Texans. Braden Smith, I like. That's a great signing. I thought he should have stayed with the Colts, but they obviously didn't want to pay him. Had elsewhere other priorities, I guess you would say. Reed Blankenship coming over from the Eagles. He's a good safety. Braden Smith's a good pickup, like I just mentioned. Wyatt Teller's a good pickup. I like him. Play guard. Foster Moreau, backup tight end, whatever. I really like what Houston did here. I feel like they got a couple offensive linemen because that's really what they needed. They needed offensive line bad. They got a couple offensive linemen, and they got some depth pieces. So I'm gonna go a B. I'm gonna go B on this grade. I know I've given out the B for like the majority of the teams now, but it is what it is. Moving on to the Indianapolis Colts. I'm not a fan of the process here. I know Alec Pierce got 1,000 yards on like 40-something receptions or something crazy like that. But like 28.5 a year for Alec Pierce, that is top 10 at the position money. Alec Pierce, there's 20 receivers I'd rather have than Alec Pierce. And I know contracts don't necessarily work like that, but this is a massive overpay. It's a massive overpay. I mean, I guess they kept their guy, but like, whatever. They also got rid of Michael Pittman. So, Daniel Jones is also coming off of a torn ACL. Or torn Achilles. So, like, I don't like this move. I don't like it at all. Brung back some of their guys. Signed a couple of edge. Yeah, really a couple of edges. Let Kwity Paye go. I'm surprised. I heard in the rumors that they were going to overpay Kwity Paye, and I'm glad they did, and I don't think he's a great player. So I like the fact that they let him go. I like some of the depth signings they had in here. And Cam Taylor-Britt's okay. Ardenke's good. Clemens good. Overall, though, I didn't like this free agency period for them. I'm going to give them a C. The Indianapolis Colts gets a C because they overpaid Alec Pierce, and there's no excusing that for me. Jaguars did nothing. They got worse. They let Travis Etienne walk, and they did nothing. So I'm going to give them an incomplete grade. There's nothing to grade here. There's nothing to... I mean, I guess, like, letting Travis walk and these couple of moves that they did. So I'll give them a D. What I gave the Packers, a D plus. Let's give them a D plus because I don't feel like Travis Etienne is like egregious. D plus for the Jaguars. They didn't do anything. Moving on to the Chiefs, I feel like the Chiefs got probably one of the steals of free agency, Kenneth Walker, the Super Bowl MVP from the Seahawks. I think that he's a great addition to this Chiefs team and is a much upgrade from Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco last year. 5-6 weeks into the season, Patrick Mahomes was their leading rusher. So that tells you everything you need to know about the running back room last year. This is a big upgrade. I think Kenneth Walker on the Chiefs he's going to put up numbers and it's going to be dangerous to watch with Patrick Mahomes. They bring back Travis Kelce. He is going to stick around for another year, 1 year, 12 mil. It's whatever. It's probably exactly what I would have given him. Other than that, they brought in some guys. They let some guys go. They obviously traded Trent McDuffie to the Rams. Got a first back from him, and I like that. They obviously weren't going to afford Trent McDuffie. Like, the Chiefs, before restructuring deals and making room, they were like negative 55 in cap space, like 55 million. So, like, the fact that they were able to make all that room, sign Kenneth Walker, like they got a lot better. It's just tremendous. And they weren't going to be able to bring Trent McDuffie back on top of this. They weren't like, if they bring Trent McDuffie back, they weren't going to be able to do any of this. And so I feel like getting the draft compensation back that they got for Trent McDuffie back and being able to re-sign all these players is enough to make me feel like it's worth it. It's worth it for sure, even though he's a top 5-10 cornerback in the league. Trent McDuffie is overall not worth probably bankrupting your team. You know, like putting yourself in cap hell, realistically. I'm going to give the Chiefs, I'm going to give them an A. I think they did good. I think they did really good. The steal of the free agency, the Trent McDuffie move, I think that's good for both teams. I think that it was a good move. Chiefs get an A. Moving on to the Las Vegas Raiders, who probably had the busiest free agency of any team. I'm going to give them an A. I think that they did really good. I think they had one of the better free agencies. Obviously, you know, they have incoming Fernando Mendoza to take the helms of their franchise, so they know they had to get protection for him. So Tyler Linderbaum, 3 years, $27 a year. Love that deal. Makes him the highest paid interior offensive line ever, if I'm not mistaken. And so much deserved, great player. Little overpay, but I'm cool with it. You're bringing in Fernando Mendoza. He's going to be in a cheap quarterback contract, even though the first overall pick contract isn't necessarily cheap. It's going to be cheaper for longer, right? So you're going to have 4 or 5 years of where you're not going to be paying elite quarterback money. So so during those, first 4 or 5 years, you have some flexibility with what you're able to do with your roster building. So the Raiders, of course, had a lot of cap space, so they went out and they got what they needed. They got center, edge, 2 linebackers, receiver. Like, these guys went out, and they went out hard. Nakobe Dean and Quay Walker, both Georgia guys. I like them coming in from their respected teams. Overpay on Quay Walker, but I think Nakobe Dean got about what he's worth. 13.5 for Quay Walker's crazy. I'm just going to say that. The dude has personality concerns. He has penalty problems. He's not great. He can be good, and he's shown that. So I guess that's what they're banking on is the upside. But we've seen people with character problems go to Oakland and their career be over. Or Las Vegas now, sorry. And their career be over as soon as they get there. So I don't like that fit for Quay Walker specifically, and that's going to break the grade down a little bit. Kwity Paye, overpay. I don't like Kwity Paye. I think he's a low effort guy, and that shows up on film. But he's someone that I'm glad the Colts didn't re-sign, like I mentioned earlier. And this is just an overpay, and it's a bad fit for the Raiders. I don't like the Kwity Paye, and that's going to bring the grade down a little bit too. But Tyler Linderbaum, Nakobe Dean, Jalen Naver, Eric Stokes, like Malcolm Kuntz, bringing him back on a 1-year deal. Like I like all of these moves. I think that this is going to make them a somewhat competitive. Like, I don't think they're going to be competing for that division, but they're going to be competitive next year, and I like what they're heading. They're heading in the right direction. I'm gonna bump it down to an A minus. I know I said A, but I'm gonna go an A minus just because I'm not a fan of the Quay Walker and the Kwity Paye contracts. It could work out, but I'm not high on either of those guys. Moving on, we have the Los Angeles Chargers. Again, kind of a nothing burger here. I wouldn't say they got better or got worse. Feel like they replaced some guys that left, and that's about it. That's really about it. I don't think they upgraded anywhere, and I don't think they got like much worse. But brought back a bunch of their guys. Overall, I'm gonna give the Chargers a B minus. Just didn't do anything at all, really, and I think that their offensive line took a hit, but they're obviously going to get both of their starting tackles back next year, so I feel like that's going to help them out a lot. So they're going to get a B minus. Los Angeles Rams also didn't do much in free agency. Now they have both of the corners from the Chiefs with Jalen Watson and Trent McDuffie now on their team. That trade is basically what they did. That was their free agency period, and then Jalen Watson, like bringing in these two guys to help a depleted defensive back room, like it's great moves, great stuff. I like to see it. They didn't do much, but what they did, I'm gonna give them a B plus. I think Watson was a little bit of an overpay, but a B plus I think is fair for the Rams. They did get a lot better, and the Trent McDuffie deal was great. Moving on, the Miami Dolphins. Oh my God, this team was dismantled so fast. Tua's gone, Tyreek's gone, Jalen Waddle's gone, Bradley Chubb's gone. Everybody is gone except poor old Devon Achane. What's that man got to do to get out of there? They said today that he is untouchable. Feels bad. They did release Tua Tagovailoa, which cost them $99 million in dead cap just for him not to play for them. So immediately you think, okay, they're going to be bad next season, right? They release Tyreek Hill. They're going to be bad next season. They trade Jalen Waddle. They're going to be bad next season. They let Bradley Chubb go. They're going to be bad next season. So they're going to be bad. But yet they go out here and pay Malik Willis $22.5 million a year for 3 years. Miami, why would you do that? This dude hasn't even shown you that he can do this consistently. In like the 8 games that he's played in the past couple of years for the Green Bay Packers, he's looked good. Like, I'm not going to take anything away from the guy. But why would Miami sign him for a 3-year, $22 million contract? They're paying over $100 million at the quarterback position next 2 years. And they're not going to be competitive. In fact, they're going to be one of the worst teams in the league. It's bad process. This is bad process, in my opinion. Bad process. They brought in a bunch of depth pieces here. You're looking at, like, Jalen Tolbert. Whoop-de-doo. Tutu Atwell. Whoop-de-doo. Like, none of these guys are needle movers for me. Miami Dolphins, I'm giving a C minus. I don't think I like Malik Willis as a player. I don't think Miami knows where he needs to go. I don't think it was a good fit, and I don't think it was good process by them signing him. C minus for not the Minnesota Vikings, the Miami Dolphins. Next up, we have the Minnesota Vikings. They brung in Kyler Murray from the Cardinals. I love it. I've always been a Kyler Murray guy. He's good, but like he can't just play anywhere. You gotta put him in you gotta build a scheme around him, really. And that's how you're gonna get the most out of Kyler Murray. I think that they had to do anything, literally anything, but roll with just J.J. McCarthy and Max Duggan for another year. You know what I'm saying? Like, they definitely don't want to do that. So bringing in Kyler Murray, I really like that move. You know, a minimum contract, it's whatever. Kyler Murray's probably going to get the start for them. and we'll see what he does with a pretty talented Minnesota roster. Like, I'm thinking about it, they're a talented roster. I think Kyler could come in and win a little bit with them. I'm gonna give them a B plus. Just a B, just a B. I feel like they didn't do anything else besides Kyler, so just a B for the Minnesota Vikings. Moving on to the New England Patriots, bringing in Romeo Doubs, Elijah Vera Tucker. Like, they got better. Kevin Byard on a 1-year deal. I like that. He led the league in his old age in interceptions last year. Draymond Jones coming over from the Ravens. I like that move. I like all of these moves. I feel like the Patriots got better, and I feel like they had a really good free agency. And they didn't have any splash signings or anything like that. I mean, Romeo Doubs was cool, but nothing crazy for the Patriots. They did get better though, so I'm gonna give the Patriots a B plus. Moving on to the Saints. The Saints, I also feel like got better. Bringing in Noah Fant, I like the guy. I think if he can stay healthy, he's a good tight end. Travis Etienne to probably replace or split backfield carries with Alvin Kamara, I feel like is good. He had a good year for the Jaguars, and he probably got about what he deserves. Just a little under 12 a year with only 28 guaranteed over 4 years. Like, there's outs in that contract if he can't stay healthy. Caden Ellis, tremendous linebacker from the Falcons. I think that they used him entirely wrong. 11 mil for over 3 years. No, 11 mil per year for 3 years. Sorry, 33 over 3. A lot of threes there. I like Caden Ellis. I like this signing a lot for the Saints, and I feel like this is a Demario Davis replacement, and I feel like it's a good replacement. The dude's 34. I mean, he was solid last year, but you can't keep investing money in Demario Davis year after year when he's just getting older and worse. I like this free agency for the Saints. I'm gonna give them a B plus. Feel like they got better. Moving on to the New York Giants, or should I say the Baltimore Giants. They got better. They got a lot better, I feel like. I feel like the Giants made a lot of moves that I really liked. And the best of their moves weren't even players on the field. The best of their moves this offseason was bringing in John Harbaugh. I truly believe that John Harbaugh is going to turn this franchise around. I think he's going to get the most out of Jackson Dart. I think he's going to get the most out of Cam Scatterbo, Malik Neighbors, everything that they got built in there, and they got elite draft picks coming up. Like, the Giants are in a great position, and this free agency class helped them. Isaiah Likely, good tight end starter, is going to coming from Baltimore. Tremaine Evans from Chicago, off-ball linebacker, really like him. $12 million a year, that's kind of a bargain. He's going to have 120 tackles a year. He's a tackle machine, also a coverage machine. Greg Newsome, corner from Jacksonville. I like that. 1 year, $8 million. Just a flyer. Ardarius Washington from Baltimore. He's a stud. Just watch. Like, he didn't have much playing time last year in the Baltimore Ravens, but I promise you, this guy is a stud. Give him the chance, and he's gonna pop out. Calvin Austin from the Steelers. It's whatever. I feel like they got better. Most important thing was that they brung in Darnell Mooney. I didn't even hear about that. And they brung back Evan Neal. Darnell Mooney, I like that. I like that signing a lot. Isaiah Likely. I think that the building around Jackson Dart has gotten a lot better. And I feel like that they're going to make some waves in the next couple of years. If not this year, next year for sure. So they're going to get a B from me. Feel like they had a good offseason. Actually, the John Harbaugh thing, I have to give them at least an A. Like, just an A minus. An A minus for the Giants. A minus for the Giants. They got a lot better. Could have done more, though. Moving on to the Jets. The Jets, I feel like, also had a pretty good offseason. They let a bunch of their guys go. They brung a bunch of their guys back. They signed Nahshon Wright, Kingsley Enagbare, Demario Davis, Joseph Osai. Like, they're getting better on the defensive side of the ball, where obviously they traded a lot of their key contributors last year for draft capital in return. But I feel like these are moves that, nothing's crazy, nothing insane here, nothing over $12 million a year, but they're moves that definitely are going to make the Jets, they could be competitive next year. They could be competitive. I'm kidding. I'm completely kidding. Geno Smith. They traded for Geno Smith. They bring Geno Smith back. Why? Like, he's gonna be their quarterback, and he's not. He's not a needle mover. They traded for him, and I don't understand that process. I don't understand it at all. I feel like everything they done, they got better, but Geno Smith to come play quarterback, I'm not a fan. Not a fan at all. Not a fan. They're gonna get a B, just a B. I feel like they could have got higher, but the Geno Smith move brings it down for me. Geno Smith is horrible. Moving on to the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles had probably one of the best signings in the league with Tariq Woolen, a 1-year, $12 million flyer, like to come be the perimeter guy beside Quinyon Mitchell and have Cooper DeJean in the slot. Like, I love that. I love it a lot. I think that it's going to be great for Tariq Woolen and great for the Philadelphia Eagles. They're going to get a B+. They got an absolute steal. Moving on to the Pittsburgh Steelers, I feel like also had a great free agency. Jamel Dean, Rico Dowdle, like these are some bargain deals too. So for that reason, they're gonna get a B+. They did good. They did really good. I really like the Pittsburgh Steelers offseason so far, and their acquisition of Michael Pittman just for a pick swap at that. Like, we're going to see what they're going to do with the quarterback position, if they bring Aaron Rodgers back or not, but I think this team is heading in the right direction as well, and I like their offseason. I really like the Pittsburgh Steelers offseason. Moving on, 49ers, the big free agent signing is Mike Evans. I love Mike Evans. I hate that he's been in my division against the Panthers, obviously in the NFC South, for so many years, and I hate it, but I love him as a player. And going to the 49ers, I've said this before and I'll say it again, the post ball from Brock Purdy to Mike Evans is going for 20 touchdowns this year. Like, you just get deep in the red zone, just throw it up on the outside to Mike Evans. And I have full faith in Brock Purdy and Mike Evans to complete that for at least 10 touchdowns this year. Probably not going to happen. Probably not. 10's a lot. But I'm telling you, it could happen. Mike Evans is that good, and I feel like Brock Purdy is one of the better quarterbacks in the league at targeting outside of the numbers, especially in the red zone. Great red zone quarterback. The San Francisco 49ers also brought in Dre Greenlaw back from the Broncos. I like that move. He's a legacy guy, you know what I'm saying? He started with the 49ers, went to the Broncos, now comes back home. I like that. I like it a lot. Other than that, they just got some depth pieces. Christian Kirk, cool. Just to add to that wide receiver room. Overall, I think that they had a good free agency, obviously bringing in Mike Evans. We'll see what they do with his name is blanking on me, left tackle. We'll see what they do with him, if they bring him back, or Trent Williams, if they bring Trent Williams back, or if they let him go. But that is yet to be determined. So far, been a bunch of rumors about that. But I'm going to give the Tampa Bay, San Francisco 49ers, I'm going to give them a A. I really like the Mike Evans signing, and I think that carries a lot of weight, and they got better. They got better. Moving on, the Seattle Seahawks brought back their guys. They brought back their guys. Like Rashid Shaheed on a good deal. I like $17 million a year for Rashid Shaheed for what he can do, not only returning, but like as a true receiver. I love that. Josh Jobe, $8 million a year. That's cheap. Josh Jobe is incredible. I think he played great for the Seahawks last year, and he was a big part of that defense. I like what they did. They didn't do much else besides bringing their guys back, so for that reason, I am going to have to give them... They did let Kenneth Walker go. That's right. Kenneth Walker, letting him go to the Chiefs was bad process, in my opinion. Just won your Super Bowl MVP, locker room guy, like... I don't like that for the Seahawks, but we'll never know. Make it a replacement in the draft or in between now and the new league year, or the new season starts. Sorry. So I'm gonna give the Seahawks just a B. Again, they bring their guys back, but they got a little worse. Actually, I'm gonna go B- for the Seahawks because I feel like they could have done better. They should have brought back Kenneth Walker. Moving on to the last couple of teams here, we have the Tampa Bay Bucks. Also didn't do much. They brung back Cade Otton for $10 million a year. It's a little overpay in my opinion, but I mean they got their guy. They brung him back. Nothing else in here is worth even mentioning. Jake Browning, good backup quarterback coming in from the Bengals to back up Baker Mayfield in Tampa Bay this year. I like that. A'Shawn Robinson coming in from the Panthers, $10 million a year. That's a massive overpay. Bad process in my opinion, but I'm not mad at it because obviously the Tampa Bay Bucks stand in between my Panthers in the playoffs. So Kenneth Gainwell, 2-year to play alongside Bucky Irving, $7 million a year. It's whatever coming in from the Steelers. He's a good third down back. Bucky Irving is not, so I feel like that's a good pair. I like that. Alex Anzalone, he's a decent off-ball linebacker coming in from the Lions. I think they got him at a good deal, $8.5 million. At least they didn't overpay for him. So all in all, considering I'm going to give the Bucks, they did let Mike Evans walk, so I have to take that in consideration. I'm gonna have to give the Bucks just to be. I feel like they definitely got a little worse, but they're taking steps in the right direction to start to be able to get better. And I think it was much necessarily in the position that they were in. So they get a B. Moving on, the Tennessee Titans, I think probably, one of the best off seasons as well. They have a bunch of premier draft picks coming up, and they brought in Wan'Dale Robinson at a good contract. I like this contract. 17.5 a year. I thought he was going to get paid over 20. I thought he was going to get close to an Alec Pierce style contract. But the fact that they got him for 17.5 a year over 4 years, that's great. John Franklin Myers bringing him in. He's a stud defensive lineman. I like him coming in from the Denver Broncos. 21 a year is a little bit of an overpay, but they had the money to sling. Why not? Alontae Taylor, another good piece coming in from the Saints. I like him as an addition into their secondary. With a lot of these signings you're seeing, they're bringing in guys that are really going to fit Robert Saleh's defense. And I feel like they're going to have a faster turnaround than expected over there in Tennessee. I feel like these are the moves that lead them in the right direction as a franchise. And for Robert Saleh to go out there and get his guys, granted, he did overpay on a lot of these guys. They had the money to sling around. They had the money to sling it. So they got their guys, and I feel like they increased. I'm going to give them an A. I feel like the Tennessee Titans had one of the better free agency periods. Last but certainly not least, we have the Washington Commanders. Talk about overpay. Odafe Oweh, 24 a year over 4 years. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? If they didn't make that move, I feel like they would have had a great offseason. Bunch of additions that are going to be starters for them. A bunch of, like, Caleb Von Chesson. I love that move. 1 year, $11 million, prove it deal, even though he kind of proved it with the the Patriots last year. I like it. It's a good move. It's probably cheaper than you probably would have gotten. Nick Cross coming in from the Colts. I like Nick Cross as a safety. Starting safety, you got him for less than $7 million a year. You should be proud of yourselves for that one. But then to go out there and pay Odafe Oweh 24 a year over 4 years, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. We'll see what else they do in this offseason in the draft, but for free agency, that move is going to significantly impact my grade, and I'm going to give the Washington Commanders a B-. No, it's worse than that. It's got to be a C. They're going to get a C. The Commanders are going to get a C. And that is going to be the last team that I have to grade today. So please let me know your thoughts and comments. Let them down below in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you did make it all the way to the end of the video, I do appreciate you. Please consider subscribing, leaving a like. It helps the channel out a ton. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace.